You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. As much as 36 years in prison. That's the sentence for a Bayshore man convicted of sex trafficking and promoting prostitution. Authorities say Freddie Rice forced women who were addicted to drugs to perform sex acts for money. Prosecutors say Rice preyed on the women between 2019 and 2023. Hundreds gathered today in Dix Hills for the funeral of Ed Eason Sin-A Jr. The 23-year-old was stabbed and killed on Christmas Day while working behind the counter at CVS in Lindenhurst. John Palacio of Lindenhurst has been charged with this killing. And first in Newsday, a tentative deal has been reached at Northwell Health's Plainview Hospital to prevent nurses from going on strike Monday. But nurses could still walk out at Northwell's Huntington and Syosset hospitals.
They're our lifeblood. They carried us through COVID, and they're looking to, improve their lives, improve their working conditions.
The nurses union has been fighting for a new contract to address what it calls staffing issues and to rework nurse-to-patient ratios. Northwell officials say they're hopeful about reaching an agreement at the two other hospitals. And first in Newsday, the governor wants to give Long Island $3.75 billion for water infrastructure over 5 years. Now, Governor Kathy Hochul announced it today at the State of the Region breakfast in Woodbury. The plan still has to be approved by the state legislature. Now, this comes as Hochul runs for re-election against Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman. And speaking of Blakeman, told the crowd at the Long Island Association's event today that he thinks some illegal immigrants should be given the chance to stay on Long Island. Newsday TV's Joy Brown will have more on what Blakeman proposed in just a few moments. All right, let's take a quick look at tomorrow's weather. And yes, it looks like we're dealing with some rain, but it's coming in the afternoon. It'll be cloudy in the morning, temps in the mid-40s. Of course, we'll have that 7-day forecast for you later in the broadcast to see how much rain we get throughout the weekend. Commuters are not happy that they could be forced to pay an $8 fee if they buy or activate an LIRR ticket while on the train. Alfonso Castillo tells us more.
Long Island commuters say the LIRR's new fare policy is forcing them to wait until the last minute to buy their electronic tickets and then punishing them when they do wait until the last minute. So here's what's going on. The LIRR enacted its new fare policies, which in addition to raising rates, reduced the validity period for one-way tickets to just 1 day from 60 days where it was before. Because of that, riders say they're waiting until they see their train approaching before they buy their tickets, and because of that, sometimes they're not activating those mobile tickets until they're on board the train. So what's been going on over the last week is riders have started getting emailed warnings from the railroad telling them that they are at risk of being hit with an $8 surcharge if they wait until they get on board to activate their tickets, and some riders say they've already been hit with that surcharge. The railroad's not saying how many warnings you'll get before you get hit with the surcharge. The railroad says this is to address fare evasion and the reality that a lot of riders previously were waiting until they saw a conductor come around before activating their tickets with the hope that they don't come around and you get to save that ticket for the future. But another change that some riders say is really overly restrictive and reducing their flexibility is that the period for which you could get a full refund on an electronic ticket is now only 2 minutes from when it was bought. You've got 2 minutes to get your money back. And obviously riders say this doesn't give them a whole lot of flexibility. Another change is the elimination of the round trip ticket and the 10-trip ticket. So basically, unless you've got a monthly pass, you're not buying your ticket until you're headed to the station or at the station. And so if you wait a little too long, you might end up paying more for that ticket.
Only in Newsday, fears about ICE raids has sparked the growth of activist networks on Long Island. Virginia Huey has a story of one group in Nassau.
Guys, you don't have to do this! No! No!
You're watching the Trump administration's crackdown on immigration playing out on the streets of Port Washington.
No!
We're looking for ICE agents before they even do anything.
Jeffrey Siegel captured these images of ICE agents with his cell phone and dash cam while patrolling the neighborhood as a volunteer with Port Washington's Rapid Response Network. The grassroots immigrant rights group aims to prevent or stop federal officials from making arrests by warning immigrants of ICE sightings.
It's not American to have people in masks literally snatch people off the streets. That's a different country. That's not supposed to be what America is about.
Network volunteers scout alleyways, parking lots, and main streets. They alert immigrants via Signal app and with signs.
If I see something and where I can put this in the window.
In this video, Siegel says ICE agents grabbed a man from a work van on Port Washington Boulevard, while the man's wife pleaded with agents to stop.
Please, you're breaking our papers!
Volunteers document the confrontation. They also inform immigrants of their rights.
There are some people who are shouting instructions from our side. Shouting instructions, don't give them this document, you don't have to answer that question.
Siegel says he was moved to take action after Fernando Mejia, a popular manager here at Schmear Bagel Cafe, was arrested by ICE while he was at work back in June. Mejia was later deported. He spoke to Newsday via Zoom from El Salvador.
They come to me like, give me your papers, and then I give them my license, and they arrest me.
ICE issued a statement to Newsday saying the agency, quote, does not indiscriminately conduct enforcement actions on random people. ICE officers conduct targeted enforcement actions that are based on intelligence-driven leads focused on aliens identified for arrest and removal from the United States. But Siegel says President Trump's immigration policy has sparked fear and uncertainty, and that's why his group will continue to provide protection and comfort.
It's important for the immigrant community, documented or not, to see that there are people who are concerned about their rights.
Siegel and other network members also hold weekly vigils at the Port Washington train station. It's their way of pushing back.
The message is this is not the way we operate in our country.
You're breaking our papers!
That's it.
For Newsday TV, I'm Virginia Huey.
Now, to read more about this story, go to Newsday.com, click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
Is Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman, who is running for governor, showing some signs of softening his stance on the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. There have been nationwide protests following the fatal shooting of a woman in Minnesota by an ICE agent, and that deadly confrontation is only increasing criticism and scrutiny of what's happening. Here on Long Island, we're seeing scenes like this, where agents are grabbing people off the streets. Now, Blakeman has supported the Trump plan and even cut a deal for the county to help ICE. But today, we heard something a little different.
We need to have compassion, and we need to use common sense with respect to people who've been here for a long while that may have overstayed their visa, who are gainfully employed, contributing to the community, may have children in schools. I think we need a guest worker program for people like that so that we can normalize them.
Now, this seems to be the first time that the county executive is kind of sussing out different kinds of immigrants. You know, technically, overstaying your visa makes you an illegal immigrant, but there's something else at play here. It's politics. He's going to need to appeal to people who do not like what ICE is doing. And he also needs to appeal to communities of immigrants, not just on Long Island and New York City, but across New York State. Now, I did catch up with the county executive before he got on stage at the Long Island Association State of the Region event. I wanted to know what he plans to do to make things better on Long Island if he wins that race for governor.
What we'd want to do is make sure that all of the resources throughout the state are spread out regionally and that everybody gets a fair bite of the apple. Unfortunately, here on Long Island, Nassau and Suffolk County send about $14 billion more to state government than we get back.
Now, what's interesting here is that the county executive kind of has to balance as he goes forward over these next few weeks and months between what he needs to say and do as the county executive and also what he needs to say and do as a candidate running for governor. He does make a good point about money that Long Island sends out to Albany because we never get enough of that back. No one's ever said that we have. And I have to say that one of the good things about having a Long Island candidate running for governor is that Hochul is now promising Long Island more money. Now, the governor also spoke at the event and got a big round of applause.
Hello, Long Island.
Now, she spoke about child care, energy, and other big issues facing the state. She and Blakeman agree that affordability is a key issue. Now, on her way out, NewsdayTV asked the governor if she supports New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani's stance that the minimum wage should go up to $30 an hour. Governor Hochul would not commit to that.
What businesses need is predictability, and for them to know it was going to go from 15 to 16 to 17 over a period of time so they can make their adjustments. That's important. I also believe that our initiative for the first time ever to tie it to inflation, which just kicks in, I think next year, that's going to make a difference, people. So they'll start to see that escalation as their costs go up, which I think is important. Helping families who are struggling, is something that we all have to take seriously.
Now, even though Hochul and Blakeman were never on stage at the event at the same time, they both took polite swipes at each other. No doubt that kind of back and forth between the candidates will continue and increase in the coming weeks and months.
There's a place in Garden City where little Long Islanders are learning to thrive in the kitchen. Elisa DiStefano has this week's Feed Me TV.
It's a new cooking school for kids that mixes food and fun. I'm Elisa DiStefano at Culinary Clubhouse. Kids are cooking up recipes and confidence in the kitchen at these new cooking classes in Garden City.
I have 3 young children of my own, and I searched high and low for my own children to learn how to cook. I wanted to create a place where children can learn how to cook and create, and a place that they can come to every day of the week.
Let me get my apron on for some sous chef action. What are you making over here?
I go everything you want.
Anything I want? Yeah. Ooh, you're my kind of chef. Can I cook with you? Can I be your sous chef?
The classes are catered to kids 4 to 17. You can drop in or get a monthly membership for hands-on and hands-in learning.
Those are some good-looking fingers.
Like muddy.
You look muddy.
We have 2 kitchen classrooms, so it's really easy for parents to drop off their kids if they have 2 kids in separate age groups. We have our petite chefs from 4 to 7, our commis chefs, which are junior chefs from 8 to 12, and our apprentice, which is our teen chefs.
It's just really fun to make these cool dumplings that taste so good.
All right, well, I volunteer to be your taste tester. Compliments to Chef Miles. It's delicious.
Thank you.
And at the end of every class, kids get to eat what they made.
How does it taste?
Good.
Good?
Wait, yeah. Super good.
They like to ask me if they can help me in the kitchen now, so I like that. I appreciate that. So, yeah.
So they help cook, or do they help clean up?
They do. That's a must.
So beneficial that I'm not cooking no more. That's beneficial it is for me. No more cooking.
But you got some tasting going on here.
Delicious. If anyone wants their children to learn, this is the place to come.
Love seeing that. Now, for more on this story, go to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. The Golden Globe Awards are this Sunday, and Newsday's entertainment reporter Rafer Guzman shares his predictions on who will win.
All right, it's time to roll out the red carpet. The Hollywood awards season is in full swing, and this Sunday night is the Golden Globes. We asked Newsday's film critic Rafer Guzman to look into his crystal ball, predict some of the big winners that night. We'll look into that, Rafer. Let's start, though, with the best Motion Picture Drama. Here are the nominees. I've always wanted to say that. This is a list at the movies up for that. So what are we looking at here, Rafer?
Well, we've got a lot of pretty big movies here. I think the safe choice probably would be Hamnet. That's the movie with Paul Mescal as William Shakespeare. Jessie Buckley plays his wife. Historical drama, very much an awards bait film. But I think this award is going to go to Sinners, which is a very different film. That's the horror vampire musical western with Michael B. Jordan playing twins. Really strange, unusual, original film. It was a big hit. You've got a black-led cast and crew on that. I think it's kind of the hipper, more culturally relevant choice than Hamnet, and so I think it's going to win this award. And this is the top award at the Globes, but I think it's going to win.
Okay, we shall see. Let's take a look at what's nominated for Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy. Here's the list, Rafer. What's standing out?
Well, I think the no-brainer here is going to be One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio. This just seems to be like the year's consensus masterpiece. It was, critically revered film, big star, Leonardo DiCaprio. It's political, it's satirical, it hits all the right notes. So I think this is going to be the one. Could be Marty Supreme, that's a possibility, but I think it's going to be One Battle After Another.
All right, well, a lot of talented women are up for Best Female Actor in a Drama. Let's move on to that one. This is a look at the nominees, again, for Best Female Actor in a Drama. Here they are. Rafer, who's standing out for this one?
I think the no-brainer here is Jessie Buckley in Hamnet. Again, this is a movie about William Shakespeare. His son dies in the film. She's the mother, the grieving mother. I was trying to describe this film to my wife the other night, and I had to keep stopping because I was afraid I was about to cry.
Really?
It's a really, like an amazingly powerful performance.
Oh, wow.
I think she's going to get this. I know the Oscar nominations are a ways away, but I'm pretty sure she'll get nominated, and I bet you she wins for that, too.
Wow. I need to see that. I have not seen Hamnet. It looks phenomenal. All right, so let's take a look at who's nominated for Best Male Actor in a Drama. This is the list of nominees for that one. What do we think, Rafer?
Well, a lot of heavy hitters here, right? Dwayne Johnson, Oscar Isaac, again, Michael B. Jordan. I think the winner here is going to be the least known, which is Wagner Moura. He's a Brazilian actor. He stars in a political drama called The Secret Agent. He has a lot of momentum going in. He won the acting award at Cannes. He won an acting award at the New York Film Critics Circle, of which I am a voting member. So he's got some momentum here. One thing to note, he did not get nominated for the SAG Actor Awards, which was a surprise. Maybe I'm wrong on this then. Maybe it goes to Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, but I'm going to make my prediction. I'm going to say it's Wagner Moura.
All right, I like the confidence. Love the confidence.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the next category. Nominees for Best Female Actor in a Musical or Comedy. This is who's up for the award. What do you think here?
I think this is going to go to Rose Byrne for a film that I think not many people have seen. It's called If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. And I've seen it described as sort of a dark comedy. To me, it's so dark that it's almost like a horror film.
Oh, wow.
It only made maybe $1 million at the box office. Again, not many people have seen it, but the people that have seen it have been voting for it. National Board of Review, again, New York Film Critics Circle, Los Angeles Film Critics Association. So she goes in with a lot of momentum here. I think she'll get this award.
Oh, that would be neat. All right, on the men's side, here's who's nominated for Best Male Actor in a Musical or Comedy. You mentioned Timothée Chalamet in this one. This is the list of nominees. Who are you looking at here?
I think it's Chalamet in Marty Supreme. It's such a strange, vivid character. He's this skinny, obsessive, almost murderous ping pong champion. It's a very strange role. He's great in it. I suppose it could go to Leonardo DiCaprio, but I think it's going to be Timothée.
I do love me some Timothée Chalamet. He's great.
He is great.
So what's your record? Do you feel like you've been pretty good in your past predictions?
You know, if you're betting money, I'm not sure you want to listen to me necessarily, but you know, I usually get a few biggies, at least a few biggies right. I get a couple of smaller ones a little off. You know, not 100%. So if you're a betting person, you might want to go elsewhere.
I'd put money on your bets, Rafer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing this for us. We really appreciate it. Newsday's film critic, Rafer Guzman. You can read more of his reviews on our website, newsday.com.
Now let's take a look at your 7-day forecast to see how long rain will be sticking with us. And look at that, we just have to deal with it on Saturday. Sunday, we have some clouds overhead and we're pretty much dry for the next 7 days. Check out the temps on Wednesday too. It's the highest of the 7-day with 48 degrees.
Long Island weather is brought to you by PTRC.
Now, for more on the stories you've seen here today, head over to Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. I'm Ken Bufa. More news coming up, and have a great weekend.
There's more to Long Island than you know when you picture this. Join Macy Eglin for a journey through some of the major moments in Long Island's past through the lens of the Newsday archives. Picture This, available now at Newsday.com/picture this.